Please be seated, everybody. Well, today we celebrate a birth. It's birthday celebration time. We often do that here at St. Michael's. We often find out whose birthday it's just been or who's about to have a birthday, and we sing happy birthday. Not today, though. Not today, although there's a sense in which every song that we're singing is a birthday song. Do you know that Christmas Day, of all the days in the year, is the day on which the fewest people are born? According to my, I'll be honest, very limited Google research, Christmas Day is the least common day to be born. Second least common, New Year's Day. Third least common, Christmas Eve. And I think we do have somebody here, Mimi, whose birthday it is on Christmas Eve, and happy birthday for yesterday. But today is Christmas Day. There are some famous people who have been born on Christmas Day. The actor Humphrey Bogart was born on Christmas Day. One of my favourite actresses, Sissy Spacek, who I remember seeing in that film Missing years ago, she was born on Christmas Day. For those a little bit younger, the Veronica twins were born on Christmas Day, but not as many as you might think when I looked it up. Now, there's no doubt good and practical reasons for this. Who wants to be scheduled to have a cesarean on Christmas? Really, that's not going to... But it is as though everybody sort of realises, no, not Christmas Day. That day's already taken. That's a birthday where we celebrate somebody else, the birth of Jesus. The birth of somebody who, as some of you know, I've been reading a fair bit of, and listening to a fair bit of Tom Holland, the British historian and writer this year. And Tom Holland says that had Jesus not existed, had Jesus not been born, the world would be unfathomably different. I think that's a fair claim. I think that's a fair statement. We celebrate today the birth of somebody who has impacted our world in a remarkable way. Indeed, we could almost go as far as to say, who has impacted our world in a way that nobody else quite has. In the Gospel reading that Ray read for us, the birth of this child is described as good news of great joy for all people. Don't be afraid. I bring you good news of great joy for all people. And I want to say something ever so briefly about those three phrases. It's for all people. Great news, good news of great joy for all people. It's for all people, all comers, all are welcome. All get to enjoy Christmas. Celebrating the birth of Jesus is a possibility for one and all, young and old, male and female, extrovert, introvert, anyway, etc., etc., etc. For years now, I've been saying this, that everyone can get on board the Christian faith in some way, shape or form. I used to say to students when I was a chaplain up at Barker College, I used to say, you know, you can't be at naught. You can't say there's nothing in the Christian faith for me. And I don't think you can be at 10 on a spectrum and say, I've nailed it. You know, everything that I could build into my life, I've built into my life. But you can do something. Everyone can get on board the Christian faith in some way, shape or form. There must be something in all those pages of the Bible. There must be something in all the things that Jesus said and did. There must be something in 2,000 years of Christian history, full of triumphs and full of tragedies, full of mistakes and full of all sorts of other wonderful things that we can learn from, that we can tap into, that we can take, that we can incorporate into our life. Something that will enhance our lives, something that will add wisdom, something that will bring peace, something that will bring comfort. And so Christmas comes around each year. And I think it's a fresh invitation to do just that, to tap into the Christian faith in some way, shape or form, to the extent that you can, where you can, to tap into the life of Jesus, the things that he said, the things that he did. It's an invitation for all. Christmas is an invitation for all. It's for all people. That's why I love this year's Coles ad. Okay, I know we're in church, and like our ABC, we're not meant to promote. We're not meant to give public, I don't want to give public endorsement to Coles, but I do want to give a big rap to that ad, because the Coles ad for Christmas 2022, it's a cracker. It's a cracker. There's a young girl, I think she's 30-something, and she returns to the family home for Christmas. And she knocks on the door, and she sees that the party's already begun. The celebrations are underway. And there's mum and dad, and they're having a swinging old good time. There's lots of chatter. The Christmas table, it's beautifully decorated. It's loaded with food. And the siblings are there, and she acknowledges this person. She says good day to that person. She greets another one. And she makes her way down the table, and then she realises that the table extends into the next room. And there are more people. There are aunts and uncles there, and they're having a jolly good old time too. It's a Merry Christmas at this Christmas table. And they're chatting away loudly, enjoying the festive food. And one of the aunts says, "Are you married yet?" It's one of those awkward Christmas moments. And if you're an uncle or an aunt, you can get away with saying things like that at Christmas time. But then she sees that it leads into another room, and the table is still crowded. And then it leads out in the backyard, and then out into the street, and then down the street. This one Christmas table, then over the hills, then all the way to the beach. There's a place at the table for everyone. How good is that? For hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds. Christmas is for all. The Christian story is for all. There's enough at the table for everyone, and it's a wonderfully joyful and merry celebration, and no mention of COVID, no mention of the fact that this really could be a super spreader. Anyway, that's the Coles ad. Great. It's for all, and there's great joy for all. It's a merry season. It's a joyful celebration of the birth of Jesus, which is described as good news of great joy for all. I asked the question recently, what do you think is the good news of Christmas? And the answer came back, who else has put kindness and compassion, mercy and forgiveness, humility and service, grace and generosity? Who else has put those qualities into our world like Jesus? Who else? Who else has encouraged and inspired those qualities more than him? It was a really good answer. A really good answer. The child born in a stable, not in a palace, the child born in humble circumstances, surrounded by people of humble background, Mary and Joseph, the shepherds and the like, grew up into somebody who espoused, who embodied, who taught those values, those qualities that I just heard in that answer. His life, his teaching, his example is always there for us to follow if we so choose. And millions have chosen to do just that. Millions have chosen to do so in the past, and millions to choose to do so today. And so, here we celebrate the birth of this one who gave us a glimpse of what God would be like should God turn up and share this life with us. And the Christmas invitation is there. The Christmas invitation to one and to all, to everyone. It's to tap into, it's to learn from, it's to draw from the rich resources of the Christian faith. It's to draw from the life and example and teaching of Jesus, who in so many ways is good news and who can bring great joy for all people, for everyone. Amen.